It's to simply be heard and to simply show the world that we in our community understand, feel the tragedy that happened to Lloyd. Everybody saw the pictures, everybody saw the video. It speaks for itself. So that is very, very important to show unity, whoever you are, wherever you're from, whatever your political affiliation. It's important that our community stand together. In addition to that, the violence that has taken place, people's lives that have been ruined, people who have been assaulted, people who have been stabbed, people who have been killed, innocent people in America during this period, that it is outrageous, it is unacceptable, it is a horror, and in addition, the police are the front line against chaos. Nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect, but without police, it is total chaos. So I support the police, and obviously those who violate people's rights, of course, that needs to be addressed.
It's Justice Sunday. That's what it is. Jews for justice.
George Floyd's blood calls out to each and every one of us. Tzoakim Elai. They cry to us not to forget, not to trivialize, not to rationalize, not to do anything that a person may do to, God forbid, lessen the tragedy of a life snuffed out, life of a brother.
I want to see every single community in America, 20 people, 30 people, go out there and send a message to all of America that we are Americans. We are not black, we are not white, we are not Muslim, we are not Jewish, we are Americans. We have to be one. If someone's rights are being violated, it is our rights being violated, because maybe yesterday it was someone else. Tomorrow it could be you. We are one! We are one!
Listen, everyone's going to get some carbon dioxide back on them, but I can breathe better than the guy buried down 6 feet under.
Justice for all! Justice for all!
I'm here for Black Lives Matter. I'm here to represent that we don't need to sugarcoat it and come up with the benefits that we have for ourselves, and we don't have to say any buts at the end of the sentence. There's no conditions. Everyone is a human, and human rights equals Black Lives Matter.
He is grateful that right here in Brooklyn, where he lives, that the Jewish community understands what happened to his brother. We're not against the police department. We're just against bad policing. We're against the bad apples in the police department. And those bad apples has to get out. We're not stopping. Give us justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. What do you want? When do you want it?
But we do not unite the city by going out and looting and damaging property. And the mayor, who I see many times, is a disgrace to the city right now as of today. The mayor and the governor. You can't protest. Protest is okay. Thousands of people blocking streets and highways and bridges is okay. But going to synagogue, you can't have more than 10 people. That's a disgrace.
Make no mistake. Whether it be the horrific anti-Semitic attacks that we were living through in 2019, don't forget those. We don't want those coming back. All through Crown Heights, Jersey City, and Muncie. Or the unfortunate remarks of the mayor calling out all of New York City Jews. Peace on the Lord! Peace on the Lord!
As we walk, 8 minutes and 46 seconds, George was held down as his life was ebbing out.
You don't even understand other people's pain, then you still have a long way to go. So we're in the learning process still. That's why you didn't see so much change in the last 30 years. Because when people don't understand each other's grievances and each other's deep pain, it's very hard to make change.
Do you think this is the right step in the right direction, what you're seeing in the last week?
Well, lot more needs to happen, a lot more conversation, a lot more yearning for justice for people. People need to care that justice is for everybody. Justice is not something in isolation for this group or that group. Justice is something very, if you care for it, you care for it everywhere. If you don't care for it, you don't care for it anywhere.
There are people who shouldn't be priests, right? We know that. You get it. They shouldn't be priests. They never should have been priests. There are people who shouldn't be rabbis. There are people who shouldn't be teachers because they don't belong in a classroom with our young kids. And there are people who should not be police officers. But that is an absolute minority. And we want to make that very, very, very clear. We cannot go home and say we've done our job. You did something, that counts, that's wonderful. But the battles, this is just a battle. The battles go on. We hope and pray that with God's help, the war will be won.
I stand here as a proud Jew and as a proud lawyer who's represented victims of police brutality in this city ever since Avril Lavigne was tortured here in Brooklyn in a police bathroom. The families of Sean Bell, the families of Eric Garner, seeing the terrible result a wrongful police killing has to a family. And seeing all of you here really means something to me because we're seeing this all over the world. And when each and every one of you comes to stand against police brutality, that will bring an end to the police brutality which is going on all over the world, but particularly in this city, in this country. So I want to thank all of you on behalf of the victims that I've represented in the hope that there won't be victims in the future. Thank you.
I also stand by all those who have been hurt in the crazy, chaotic, unjust, opportunistic crisis that we're going through right now. People are out there looting, anarchy. Make no mistake, this is also part of the problem.
Right. Community come together for something like this. Y'all don't realize how powerful that is.